What's good, people? Neil here. So the last 2 weeks have been fairly busy weeks for me at home and also at work. But at home, my two sons just had their birthdays and there was a whole thing. But most significantly was yesterday. Yesterday was our anniversary. We're celebrating 8 years of being married. So being a guy who grew up in church playing an instrument, would go for wedding services. And in every wedding service, they'd always ask, how many people here have been married for under a year? How many people have been married for over a year but less than 5 years? Then there's that third tier of how many people have been married over 5 years but less than 10 years. And that's where we've been for like the last 3 years. It's been a lot of learning and growing, but now hitting 8 years, it's like in 2 years' time, we're going to be on the next tier. And I'm excited to find out what getting to that place looks like. Anyway, today I want to take us back to a moment in the collective UG last year when we recorded a song called Peace.
Peace, peace, peace for this nation. Peace, peace over this land. Your peace, peace, complete restoration. Peace, guide your peace.
So this song was written by Sam Chimera, and the moment when we recorded this song was pretty interesting. How it came together was unusual because Sam had this idea for this song for many years, and he kept asking me to do it, and I kept saying, nah man, not yet, it needs a bigger reason to exist. And we played around with several ideas, but then this one moment in 2019, we sat down and it hit us that we had many relationships with different church leaders, and we could do a song which, we could invite our friends who also are church leaders to come and sing. And as they sang along, they could pray for the city, they could pray for the country, and could be a pretty significant thing if we did that way. So we did that in November 2019. It was a pretty special moment. We had these different church leaders, they came, they sang, it was amazing. In the process of putting a song together, there was this one moment in the night when many things failed. Well, first of all, it was a pretty interesting day recording that song because the first thing that went wrong was we had planned to record that song in the afternoon. We wanted to have this scene of the whole city as the backdrop to the place where the song is being sung, as these church leaders sang the song and prayed over the city. But then it started to rain, and then we had technical problems, and then things stopped working. Before we knew it, the day was running out, the sun was setting, and we still hadn't recorded the song. Eventually, we got ready to go, and then we had like a technical thing. I think we lost power, then we had to find fuel for the generator. It was a whole thing. In the end, we ended up recording it at night. But in the process of trying to go through like all the technical, things that were going wrong, a moment just occurred where the whole group of people that were there, guys from the collective and the church leaders, just started praying and worshiping. And it was a very beautiful moment, unorchestrated. I don't know who started it or who was leading it, but it was just happening. It was really special. We happened to record it. It was a wonderful moment with these guys coming together and praying, and it made singing the song, recording it that night on that rooftop all the more special because there was an honesty to that prayer moment. And in the end, all these guys got to lift their hands over the city and just pray for peace in the country. We managed to release that song at the beginning of 2020 when coronavirus had just become a thing. And I think it was, the timing was good. Lots of people found peace, healing vibes in that moment. But the reason I'm bringing that up right now, this song today, is because I'm currently dreaming of creating the kind of project, musical, maybe even visual, like with some film made around it, but the kind of project that could bring different church people together, creatives, to tell a unifying story of what God is doing through the church in our communities. Because the church does a lot of good things for our communities. There are lots of people that are taken care of, orphans that are taken care of, widows that are taken care of. There are a lot of, small church projects that go unseen or unheard. The thought of it every time we speak about it sounds daunting, but the excitement of what that could represent for us as a nation in terms of the church's capacity to unify us towards good, towards social justice, towards doing something good for the world, just sounds exciting. Like, even if we fail, but we get a little bit of it done, I think we'll have started something positive. So I'm excited at the idea of doing that. And, in the weeks ahead, I'll be telling you more about it as it develops. But for today, that's a glimpse into what I've been up to. Till we meet again, you stay classy. There's lots more to come. And if you want to stay up to date with everything that I'm up to and what I'm doing, subscribe and hit the notification guy, and you and I will be good friends. I like friends. I want to be your friend. I want you to be my friend. We can be friends together. Friends forever. Cool. Let's go.